Hey you guys, watch if the Avengers were gender swapped to get the full experience. This is my little condensed version. Rachel Nichols, I have no idea who she is. I found her because I think I was looking for tall actresses or something, and that's a good place to start, you know, just trying to find lists of actresses and knocking them out based on criteria and filmography, which is another thing XY does that I think is so cool. I have no idea who Chris Hemsworth was before Thor came along, and turns out most people didn't. It really was a shock. And what I'm finding out as I'm doing this show and looking people up is that I'm actually kind of dead on in my assumptions about these celebrities sometimes. I anticipate there will be stars people send to me like, oh, you should have picked them for Captain America or whatever, and you know, hey, I just didn't think of them, maybe I'll pick them for a role down the line or something. So we went with Rachel Nichols to play Thor, that much you know, but we also went with Rose Byrne to play Loki, her sister, and I think sisterly, they really work, especially considering that in the movie they weren't even actually brothers, so I think that really matches. For a while we had thought of Lana Paella, if I'm saying that last name right. She's Regina, the evil witch from Once Upon a Time. You will not even be surprised we have Viola Davis as Nick Fury in this, and oh my god, she fits so perfectly. I explained why in the review, but come on, what other choices did we really have? Plus, we're maintaining race here. Agent Coulson was interesting because Agent Coulson, Clark Gregg is 52 years old, so we wanted an actress with some age on her. He's also primarily known as a sitcom star, like he's been on New Adventures of Old Christine for like 5 years, and before that, he did some role on Will and Grace, so you know, a sitcom guy. I think maybe some theater, but majorly a sitcom guy. So we wanted someone with a similar career, kind of find a counterpart to who was in the original role. So we settled on Jane Levy's, if I'm saying that right, from Frasier, yes, as Agent Coulson, and honestly, I could see it working. The only problem is that she's kind of tall. She's the same height as our actress for Thor, and it's just, you know, picking all these females. The thing is, really tall females don't really get famous in the industry as much and as often as the tall men do. So to find tall actresses who were young, who were the right age, who had the right look to them, and who were notable was really hard to do. So, I mean, we had to dig deep. We had to pull Rachel Nichols out of the ground. But the point is that a lot of the actresses we ended up going with are not tall necessarily. But we had to focus on other aspects of the heroes than just their brawny, you know, stereotypical image of strength. You know how in the Avengers you have Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans playing Thor and Captain America respectively? We have the actresses we recast to play Thor and Captain America are both played by actresses with the same first name. Now, I did not set out to do that. I'm not that kind of dumb, but I just think that's really interesting. Another thing we're doing is keeping race consistent. If a character is black or, you know, white or something, we'll keep their race consistent, because the issue of gender and race diversification, even though it's a general issue, they're two separate things. I mean, there are a lot of, again, Caucasian women who have leads in shows, and, you know, ethnic women are sidelined, and it wasn't really until a few years ago we started to see a movement, but that's an issue for another day. I want people to look at the Avengers gender swapped, and if they have any sort of issues with it, be like, well, so wait, it's just a bunch of chicks, and the only guys on the team have no powers, and barely do much of anything. I mean, and then just, well, okay, now you know how they feel, basically. It's like the only people on the team who represent your home street, your gender, do nothing, basically. Now, don't get me wrong, Black Widow, she kicks ass, but she doesn't have any powers! How hard is that? I mean, I know the actual character doesn't have powers, but you know what I mean. The Avengers gender swapped doesn't seem like a movie that would ever have been made. It's so unevenly skewed female. And there are no strong men, really, for male viewers to latch onto. So how does it work in reverse? You know, the normal way. It's unevenly skewed male. But I mean, that's based on the comic characters, so from the ground up it was, you know, it was flawed. And even so, that's just for this particular Marvel team. So of course that leaves Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, and Black Widow. Yes, I'm not giving those away in this video. You're gonna have to see that in the whole video. Plus, I'm really not too confused about why I made those choices, so go watch them. I defend them pretty well. See ya.